properly. But let me go over the phone lines again, speak to Adib Saani, who is also a security analyst, works with the Jatikay Center. Thank you very much for your time, and good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
Well, so first of all, have you heard about this whole issue of the arms that were imported and that the public is concerned about? And do you think we have every right to be concerned?
Well, first of all, when you look at the terms on which the arms was into the country, no offense was committed, because when you take a closer look at Section 5 of the Arms and Ammunition Act 1962, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, because the rules and the regulations are quite clear as to the permit you have to obtain before you be able to bring in weapons into the country. But I am particularly disturbed about two major things. Number one, the fact that in the documents, it's categorically stated they are hunting rifles, when indeed they are not. All right? And I'm disturbed about it because when on record you would have 4,000 hunting rifles getting into the system, when indeed you have 4,000 pump action guns getting into the system. All right? So there's a bit of inconsistency and there's a bit of representation, okay, and that is very dangerous because we are likely to have some of these weapons in the system unaccounted for. All right, that's number one. Okay. I particularly have issues with this because I was wondering, for how long has this been done? You know, because according to the agents who cleared the items, this is not the first time the person in question is bringing in weapons into the country. So for how long have we had misrecording and this inconsistency between the documentation and what is really in the container? Lastly, one of my biggest challenges is the timing. Already we are bedeviled with a number of security challenges in the country. We have issues regarding the vigilantism scourge. We have terrorism issues coming up. We have kidnapping issues coming up. So we need to be extremely careful about the number of, some of these lethal weapons coming into the system, because the likelihood that they end up, in many cases, falling into the wrong hands is very real. Okay, so the timing is something I am worried about. I don't think it should have been allowed to happen.
Well, you talk about the terms, because that's the basis of the argument that has been going back and forth between the government and the opposition National Democratic Congress. Now, the government yesterday put forward a document that was signed in 2017 as the permit based on which the guns were imported. Now, first of all, does that add up to you? Because you're talking about the law. Does the law allow how long is an importation permit for guns supposed to last? And will this permit that they are putting forward be valid and be used at this time?
Well, I'm really shocked because I don't know of any permit that lasts till eternity. So I was really shocked by the allegation, by the issues that came up, and I even saw a letter signed by Honorable Agalga, in 2017, giving that permit without a deadline. And when you look at the Arms and Ammunition Act, for example, if you want to own a gun, what you do is you get a permit to enable you buy the gun from a licensed gun dealer in Ghana. But after buying the gun, the permit doesn't guarantee you usage of the weapon until you secure a license. Okay, but the permit in this situation lasts for about 6 months, but the license is about a year. All right, so if you get the permit and within the 6 months period you're not able to obtain the gun, you're supposed to go back for the permit to be renewed. And when you get the gun, you're supposed to license it, which lasts for a year. So every single year you're supposed to go for renewal, because there are sections in the Arms and Ammunition Act that is quite categorical about the fact that the IGP is supposed to have a central register of all weapons in Ghana. How does he do it? Through the registration of these weapons. But that's not what happened, because according to the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping and Training Center, we have well over 2 million guns, illegal guns for that matter, in the hands of private citizens. So we are choking the system with guns. Already we are bedeviled with the proliferation of small arms and light weapons coming in from other parts of the continent, especially from the Sahel towards sub-Saharan Africa. And it's an issue we are contending with. So for you to legitimately also arm the system more is something I find quite irresponsible. There's a better way we could have handled this. At least we could have put it on hold. And so we sort out some of these serious security challenges with bedeviled. Because I've always stated categorically that, look, we cannot have a 100% secure Ghana. All right? America, despite their sophistication, contend with every single year over 30,000 deaths as a result of gun violence or gun-inflicted wounds. All right? Brazil in South America suffers over close to 40,000 deaths every single year because of gun violence. All right? So we wouldn't want to go that line because already our social services are not robust enough. Our legal regime is something that I personally am not very extremely proud of, even though some work is being done. And we wouldn't want to get there. I think there should have been some exercising of a moral discretion with regard to the bringing in of these weapons. And what amazes me most is the fact that it goes through the civilian clearance process. I mean, for crying out loud, these are guns, these are explosives, and so should be handled cautiously. And so the clearing mechanism or process should have been different from the civilian processes because of handling purposes, because of national security purposes. But we seem to have lost, track of what exactly was going on there until the video came out and we all got to know what was really going on.
So for you, the explanation has been given by the Minister for Information, essentially basically distancing this government from the importation. Would it hold for you?
No, because it is a duty of every government to ensure the safety of its citizens. Okay, and I'm someone who doesn't believe in changing the goalposts, shifting blame and all that. You are in charge currently, and whatever happens to us will not hold the opposition to account. It's you, because that's why we voted you. And the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that was effected in 1947 and later metamorphosed into the Bill of Rights in the 70s. Remember our article, I think, 5 of the Constitution is quite instrumental about the protection of individuals and, the rights of individuals in Ghana, our security, etc. So I think it is within the premise or purview of the government to ensure you and I are safe. And so for them to want to push the blame at some other persons is something I find untenable.
Well, so as you speak now, when you think about this whole issue, what questions are in your mind that you also like government to answer? Well, we seem to have lost Adib Saani on the line. We'll try and get him back on the line and deal with that last issue. But let me welcome Stephen Kobnato. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah, same here. many years.
Stephen Kobnato is, I don't know how to put him, but Boachi, can you build me up? Well, so Stephen is a very close friend of the station. He's a huge advocate for us. But he's been one of those who's been fighting aggressively, at least with the limited platform you have, through social media. So actually trying to get the government to reverse the decision it has taken. Boachi has changed his stance this morning. Yesterday he was on fire. Today he's begging Auntie Rebecca. I don't know whether what happened to the fire.
To talk to the husband, 3:30 a.m. on Friday.
Well, Stephen, I'll come back to you. But Boachi, let's go back to that interview. Take us through our listeners through. They will come back to Stephen to take his thoughts.
Okay. It, okay. Abusia yada so tinkonya so na etu a yakra bakrum ha no no. Eno ho nkomo ne yedie. Yedi kan ye ne Dr. Justice Kwaku Moses Ayeto edi nkomo. Ne otoso